Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? Episode 25. Thank you very much for coming in, tuning in, showing some love. We got a Wet Fish Aquarium on today's episode. Before we do anything, though, as you know, if you got yourself an iPhone and or an Android, go to the App Store or the Play Store. Do yourself a favor, download the FTX app and stay up to date with the latest cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Without further ado, I am your host, Gaddis TV. What's going on? And let's get to it.
Alive.
All right, gentlemen. Sorry to cut you off on that. We're live and direct. So first off, I was saying before I unmuted, we are now live with Wet Fish Aquarium. So first off, I want to say thank y'all for coming in. Take some time out of y'all's, honestly, day and evening. And then really, if you don't mind, doesn't really matter what order, anything like that. Just introduce yourselves, kind of let us know what you were doing before, I guess, the crypto scene and what got you into the crypto scene.
Yeah, I think I can start. I got into the crypto scene 2015, 2016. Bought into some ICOs late 2016, lost a lot of money there, but fell into the rabbit hole and bought Bitcoin initially, got super into crypto overall. And once I saw NFTs starting to take off, as a gamer, I just intrinsically got it. And I worked in a corporate job. I worked as a venture capitalist for a year and a half and was always very, very, very interested in just crypto overall. And once Solana came out, everything clicked. I'm like, there's going to be a scalable blockchain that enables so many things from DeFi, gaming, infrastructure, whatever you can dream of. And I hit up a few friends and we decided to leave our corporate jobs and just, focus on building on Solana, whether that's through investing or NFTs. And personally, I wanted to do this NFT project with my friends because I feel like this is the best way of understanding the culture of what's happening on Solana. And yeah, that's a bit of the backstory of how I got in.
Nice. I guess I can go. Got into crypto 2016, 2017. Never really paid attention to it until I guess earlier this year. I've been investing since 2017, but it was always just something I just had in my portfolio. Didn't really spend the time to understand the technology and developments. But early this year, I started talking about crypto with my friends, and I guess something really clicked, and I sat down and just started studying the technology and heard about Solana and wanted to do this project with my friends. Totally agreed that this is a great way to really interact with the blockchain and understand what's going on in the space, because it changes so quickly. And I think this NFT project is just a very good one step into crypto.
Yeah, so my story, I guess, is a little different. I'd say the old one out here. I went to school and studied plant biology with a minor in fine arts. And once I graduated, I went off and started a career in modeling, fashion modeling. And so ended up in New York City, not really doing anything with my degree, not really doing anything part-time aside from modeling. And modeling really isn't a full-time commitment at all. So there's just a lot of downtime to figure out what am I going to do with my time. Mm-hmm. And so recently, early this year, I started investing in crypto, but I didn't delve too deeply into it. And I've always been drawing on the side. I do a little bit of furniture making. So just, I guess, making things in mostly tangible, physical mediums. Did a little bit of digital stuff, but not too much, and mostly just to experiment, not as a medium where I'd actually produce finished work until about 2 months ago, when my friend who talked first, childhood friend of mine, he came up to me and asked, we talked about an NFT project actually a little earlier. And at that time, we didn't really go anywhere with it. But it was in the back of my head, and he came up to me, asked, "Do you want to get involved in an NFT project?" And it was kind of perfect timing because modeling was hitting a little bit of a lull, and I had all this time on my hand, and I've been drawing pretty much every day, at least a few hours on my own, just for my own enjoyment. So it was kind of an opportunity to, first of all, get to learn a little bit in the aspect of digital art, but also in cryptocurrencies and this whole new ecosystem, and also a way to put my hobby to work, and something that might achieve us, I guess, a larger goal than just my own personal entertainment.
So just to get it right, are you the artist behind the project?
Yes, I'm the
Okay,
artist.
cool.
Nice.
So prior to this project, he's only shown his art to like his childhood buddies.
Right.
And
yeah.
if you see some of his other art, it'll blow your mind. Like he's a hidden gem, and I was just like, when I wanted to start this NFT project, I'm like, wow, people in the world need to see like what my boy here is capable of, and like he just needs a platform for his art because some of his other stuff too, that he does on paper, is just like mind blowing, and his like storytelling capability, which we'll talk about more, is also going to be like a central part of this project as well. And I was like, he needs to be in a bigger platform, and NFTs are just so good for creators that we were like, we're going to do whatever it takes to help you reach a wider platform and like grow your creativity, your creative passion with you.
It's easy to invest in friends, when you got high conviction in them. It's a lot easier because you know the person, and you can just be like, yeah, have your free reign and do your thing.
100%. Like if I was like, if he, yeah, exactly, invest in your friends and grow with them. Like that's like the best way for you to like deepen your relationship and also build something cool.
Yeah, and there's a lot of trust and accountability in that, because you have a relationship that you want to maintain.
For real,
So,
100%,
yeah,
man.
yeah. There's a little more on the line besides
Mixing
money.
business and friends and like
that can be dangerous, man. That can be a dangerous.
But it can
sword.
pay off, and it can make for a really wonderful story if everything goes well.
Yeah. So it's high stakes. It's high stakes.
I like
that. So y'all's name for the project is again a wet fish aquarium. What came behind the name of that one, and I guess why the artwork like that as well? What's behind that?
Yeah, I mean, I could start off a little, and then I think Peter will take the Peter Wetmobius will take the lead on this. But so initially we were like Solana Beach. Solana like was named after Solana Beach.
Right.
We wanted to do an aquatic theme because we thought that was native to what Solana's about. Like Anatoly, who I actually chatted with last week. He's the chillest guy ever at Bitcoin. He's a huge surfer. So I'm like, we have to do. So initially I was like to Peter, we have to do a project based on aquatic animals. And then we originally wanted to do like an Atlantis theme where we have like a story around like a secret society of fish.
Oh yeah.
But like the Atlantis, we were gonna call it Solantis, but right when we did it, another project came out with their mint. So we were like, okay, we have to figure out some other stories. So then we came up with the aquarium, and we have like an interesting story on that, which Peter will talk about later. But we were like, why wet fish? Like people look at it, we thought like all fish are wet, obviously, because they're in the water. So it's gonna cause that initial interest. And once they see like our artwork, which is we wanted to make it kind of like a dorky looking fish. So it has like that meme potential, and I'll let Peter take away with like our story of like the aquarium too, and like what one of our project goals are.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, the character being a fish, I think at times it can be a little difficult to figure out that it is a fish, but there's the few kind of key characteristics with some gills and little fins as ears and the fins on the back. But ultimately we wanted it to be relatable enough as a humanoid figure, because the story is going to be based on an individual wet fish from this larger society of wet fish that's, I guess, distinct and untouched by humans, but kind of coexisting at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to be a calamity that occurs with this one fish where he kind of strays too far from the neighborhood and gets taken by somewhat of a mad scientist who wants to collect the most impressive collection of fish in an aquarium. And so he comes across this humanoid fish, and obviously this is the key specimen because nobody's seen this. And it's going to be the story somewhat of a, I guess, microcosm for issues of climate change and kind of this concept of not necessarily a perfect humanity, but a humanity as we know it disappearing to kind of malicious intent of other conscious beings. And so, yeah, we'd like to kind of instill a little more of a maybe philosophical and contemporary issues into an also entertaining story with some characters who are both visually lovable and interesting, but also have some substance and a deeper story there and a little more character.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's going to be centered around this individual fish and the trials and tribulations of being captured, trying to escape, and then it will just continue to unfold from there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, no, I was saying, is it going to be something kind of like, I guess, like a comic or something like that that's going to be going to, or?
Yeah, sorry, I guess I skipped on that. So yeah, there's going to be a comic that goes along with this project, and that's going to be the first of many creative projects that we hope to be funding through our. So we're going to have a treasury from our royalties that is going to be fully dedicated to funding community-based creative projects. And so this comic would be an example and would be the first of those creative projects that we hope to develop from the start.
From it. No, I got you.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up. There's been a couple projects that's talked about having the comics, things like that. With I guess with minting things like that, y'all have an overall date where y'all are thinking about having it started out there, or is it a little bit honestly too early in that nature of it, or I guess when we are all wanting to like have that mint date around?
Sounds good. Yeah, I could we're actually we wanted to pitch you our idea of how we're going to structure the mint and see your reaction to it. So like as Peter said, like we want to eventually be able to use our royalties to help incubate other projects and help them kind of launch their own NFT base. And we have like a few members of our community who have like reached out to us with their own projects, but they don't have like technical like skills. It's like, Peter's like very talented. Like we want to find more Peters of the world, and we want to give them a platform to show their creativity and show their art, and in a way that aligns with us building a stronger community. So I think building together is like the best way of becoming like a stronger community. Like for example, you guys took the initiative to build a podcast together. You're like, because of you, ThugBirdz is becoming a stronger and stronger community by the day. Like it's people that take the initiative to build, and we want to have a structure that incentivizes people to work with each other in the wet fish. And like the second point is we're going to have a special mint where we're going to try to align ourselves with the community as much as possible. And I'll give it to the mysterious creature to talk about it. And we want to gauge your interest on what you think of this idea. So yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you take it away?
Yes. So I think the number one key thing we want to make sure is that our mint is completely aligned with our future whitefish holders. And I guess with the overabundant, there's a lot of supply of NFT projects out there. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and we wanted to go for a way that's both unique, fair, and aligns our incentives with our holders. So traditionally, to mint an NFT project, the person would have to go on the website and either go through a fair launch protocol to get a token, which will be converted into one of the NFTs, or they could deliver Solana to get the NFT. The way we want to approach this mint process is from a more market-based approach, where we convert 80% of our supply into tradable SPL tokens. We'll call them Wetfish tokens. And we'll set a date, which will essentially be the mint date for other projects. So on that date, we'll release the, in this case, would be 4,000 Wetfish tokens onto one of the dexes. And then we'll decide on a reference price, and that price will be determined by, will be dependent on our community, how we build our Twitter following, Discord members in the next 1 or 2 months. And basically on that day, we'll release 4,000 tokens, and people can start bidding for them on the market. And then we'll have a 3-day trading window where people in the market could bid the token, could go up or down, depending on supply and demand. And at the end of the 3rd day, we'll open up our actual mint process where you can deliver the token to get one of our NFTs.
Okay.
We just think that this is a more fair way for people in the market to find the best price for our NFTs. And we also have this.
So just adding to his point, like we're gonna release these tokens for like very cheap, and we're not gonna get any of the upside unless we hit our community milestones.
Right.
So we're gonna let the token trade. We're gonna sell it for like, let's say 0.5 or 0.1 Sol. Or just like something very cheap, so a lot of people can participate. And based on how we're building the community, the token's value will either go down or up, and then we're gonna have that window where people can mint our token. So it's really, we don't get any of the upside because a royalty every time the token trades. We're only really making it if our floor price and our trading volume is good by the mint date. So
you're just gonna release it into the market and see where the price goes. Basically, let it find price discovery naturally instead of trying to set like whatever, like I guess a 1 Sol
set amount
Exactly.
And have it fucking crash, right?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Like
it creates like a market, I guess, like before your NFTs. I don't know what the pros and cons of that are. I would have to like sit down and like have like a brainweb on like how that affects things. Do you know what I mean? Because like I'm just trying to think like what are the benefits to it. Like if you have high conviction in the project, I guess it lets you accumulate a lot more mints, right? Before the project like launches. And increase your chances at getting like a rare one, I guess. Like I think it's a pretty cool idea. I don't think it has that hasn't been done before, has it?
Yeah, I don't think it has been done. Like something similar has been done with like the fair launch protocol and like trading that up.
Okay.
But it's like it's different in the sense that like we're just letting the tokens, letting the market work itself.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have like a treasury. We're gonna have like an escrow that just holds 20% of our tokens.
Right.
It's like a if you guys invest in like the actual boomer stock market, I don't know if you do, but
I don't.
You know? But it's like a direct listing as opposed to a traditional IPO. Because a traditional IPO is what like every other NFT project is doing, right? They're setting the mint price, and then the floor can crash or it could increase right after.
Right.
What we're doing is we're letting the market decide what the IPO price should be.
Yeah.
And then like we're going based on that. So there's a lot.
I think it's really interesting that you guys are letting the market kind of do the price discovery. Like there's no precedent set, because I don't care who you are or what you say. Like if a project mints at like 0.1, you know, your expectations are probably lower than a project that mints at 2 Sol. Do you know what I'm saying? So like it's cool that you guys are letting like the market for real decide what your NFT project is worth. That's going to be interesting to see.
And it's going to motivate us to like, build and just like, we're going to be like trying to build, like we're super early in this community building process too. Like where, I mean, I used to tweet a little, but I'm like, Twitter's new to me, Discord's new to me. But it's just like, it's a fascinating proposition. And I think one that like, hopefully if we get our message out in a simple manner, like people will know like, hey, mathematically, these guys can't make money unless their floor price does well. Because like they locked up 20% of the supply. They're not getting royalties from the token trades.
Right.
They're only going to make money if it sells and if the volume is high. So we're
are
going
the
to do whatever
NFT stuff like that going to have different like I guess rarity stuff like that? And if they are,
yep.
I mean, I guess at that time, honestly, I'm gonna ask the hard questions. Are people like y'all allowed to mint the ones so you know which ones to be minting, or things like that? Because if it's gonna be a couple of days in there, I mean, of course, there's pros and cons to everything, which is great because, like, I mean, P-Doc said as well, y'all could have honestly the best like thing out there, but I mean, people are cheap as well, so they might be like, yo, and it's only point this, point that, you know what I mean? Which on the flip side, as I'm sure the creators that would suck to an extent because it's like, bro, like I'm putting a lot of work into like even the fish I'm looking at now. Again, I'm not a draw or anything like that, but like the scales, like just everything in general, like it looks like you put effort into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
the art's cool. I like the art.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess that's the pros and cons on that one. You know what I mean? Because of course, as people, we always, if something doesn't sell, it doesn't mean it's not good. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Exactly.
I always tell people Pudgy Penguins didn't sell out. I was there. I watched
my buddy had one too.
Pudgy Penguins didn't sell out. They literally just shut her down and went, all right, our mint's been open for 2 weeks. We're just going to focus on our community and build. And then all of a sudden now their floors are like what, 2 ETH? 2.5 ETH or something like that. Like it's like it doesn't really matter, but man, I think it's just like community building. And it sounds like you guys from the get are gonna try and do that. And like it is random, right? I think what Gaddis is getting at is like you don't know, you can't really tell the rare ones as their tokens, right? Like the metadata isn't baked into them at all. Like you can't really see what's what until I guess like the mint's done, kind of.
Exactly. So you can only tell like we have like a ton of rarity charts and we have that like set up already. Like for example, the I Love Soul shirt is going to be pretty rare.
Okay.
And we have a bunch of different features, and I understand like Peter's put like hours upon hours into this art, and we really think his art is great. Like
it is.
Yeah, we talked as a team, and we just think like we need to do something different in order for this to truly be like a NFT project that stands out. Because like
100%.
if you have okay, so now there's like Soul Land, which allows every community to be token. So like, how do you compete on that front? Like, you're not doing anything new. Like, there's a ThugBirdz token gated community. There's a Thug DAO. There's a Monkey DAO.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to be just like the next NFT project. We want to like kind of market ourselves as like something that grows with community. I know it's like pretty risky, and we're still like discussing this because this was very helpful advice. Like definitely like it could flop, but we're still deciding like how can we differentiate ourselves and how can we.
I mean, depending on how you get the name out there, man. I know as far as I know, it wasn't exactly how y'all are doing it. Some similar things of like having tokens, stuff like that, which overall, I mean, I didn't buy them or anything like that, but I know they did well. You know what I mean? At the same time, I mean, I don't know how much more marketing they would do other than y'all, stuff like that. So, of course, little things like that honestly depend as well. But like it is a wholesome act as well. Like things like that. Yeah. It might not line your pocket, you know what I mean? But it's I don't know, stuff like that. There's a fine line that
you guys get genuinity points for like
again it doesn't
your neck's on the line instead of the consumers for once.
So I mean,
it's
like that,
kind of like a reverse rug. You guys are the ones that are gonna get rugged if it doesn't do well.
hopefully like we hope that like the community values that, and then because like
Yeah,
we're
what is y'all's
also
goal? What is y'all's goal then?
What will differentiate you guys?
so
Great question.
so so, like our goal is to like the first thing is to find more people like Peter, and we're gonna give him more of the royalties. Like he's getting the most out of our team
That's cool.
because he did most of the artwork, right? Like
Right.
he's like the we're trying to build that community. We're gonna also token ourselves eventually, right? So we're
Mhm.
gonna have like our own DAO, and then
Mhm.
within the DAO, it's gonna be a part of our fund is gonna be supporting these creative artists and helping them launch their own NFT projects. Like people that we find talented around, we're gonna bring them into the DAO, and we're gonna curate like a community of people who help each other build and hopefully have a lot of fun too.
Hmm.
And like this, I think this aligns ourselves with the community because we only really make any money if our floor price is high and if our
Right, because
volume is
that's when
high.
you get the secondaries, right?
Yeah, so exactly. Like we're like a secondary based model as opposed to a mint determined model. Because we looked at like a ton of projects that had, very high mints.
Yeah.
Most of them are below like their floor price, and it's just like, how do you revive that so
Yeah.
hard?
When all your core people from the beginning have already lost money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the team made a ton of Sol, right? Like they,
Right.
you know, not to throw any, but it's just like, some
No, it's
projects
facts,
like,
dude.
yeah, it's facts, right? Like it's like, how do your community is like, it's not gonna be here in a year. Like
Mhm.
yes, you made your money, but I'm not gonna know you in a year. You're just
Yeah.
one of like the 1,000 projects that took advantage of this thing. It's not like ThugDAO or MonkeyDAO. They have staying power because community
Yeah, man.
people in there are actually building. They're incentivized to build. They're incentivized to maintain the floor. They're incentivized to help each other out. And we just don't want to be like another like asterisk in the thing. Like we're not
If I could
motivated
give
by
you guys
like the growth.
any like advice of to why the ThugBirdz have gone really well, it's because I there's two main reasons. One, everybody that's involved kind of um, has this common goal of driving like more value to the project, and it doesn't matter what you do. In the beginning of the DAO there was like a whole section. We've gotten rid of the channel now, but or I don't think, maybe we haven't, but it's been there since the beginning of the DAO. Is basically list your skills, what can you do, and the entire DAO just piled in and said what they could do, and we sorted through everything, and then we reached out to individual by individual and said, hey, maybe we had this cool idea, you said you were good at this, I don't know if you want to do that, and like 80% of them said yes, obviously, right? And me and Gaddis, this podcast came to fruition simply because Gaddis was like,
That's
I want to host a podcast. I call it ThugBirdz Podcast, and
yeah. I want to
I
be
need
the
a
medium
co-host.
for
And I was like,
everyone.
hey, I hang around in my house all day. Maybe I'll just do it too. So that's how this ThugBirdz Podcast came together. So one, the whole community is trying to drive value to the project. Two, and this is a very big and overlooked thing that I think a lot of projects could tear a page out of, is not taking yourself too seriously. And at the end of the day, we really are just an NFT project, right? That we're trying to do really, really great things. But when it comes to like politics and stuff like that, in the DAO leadership, we don't really take ourselves very seriously. We don't think we're some big high mighty just because we're ThugBirdz. We don't
Down to earth.
we're not trying to like come off as like Solana's gatekeepers, or same with like whatever. I could just speak for ThugDAO really, but we're not trying to come off as like Solana's gatekeepers and try and like be like some high and mighty project. We're just kind of, we laugh at stuff, we laugh at everything, our faults. If we screw up, we just go like, hey, we screwed up, and like we just laugh at it. It's not like there's no bickering, there's no, you know what I mean? It's not, we never really let the success like change anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, if the biggest advice I could give you is just don't take yourself too seriously as a leadership, because that's when the fun stuff happens.
Yeah.
And when you have people in the community that can act on the fun ideas that have skills, it's almost like a perfect storm of, that's how the community should come together, right? And sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't. But the best thing that you guys can do is just have fun with your NFT project, and then everyone else starts having fun too when they see the leaders having fun,
100%. That is, we will take that to heart, because I think at the end of the day, like, we're all friends here. We're all having fun. Like, we
Yeah.
pitch stupid ideas to each other all the time. We're like, it's just been a very fun process this whole time. Like, I love doing creative stuff, and I think this is just such like an outlet for all of us. Like, we were crunching numbers the whole day for our job. Like, we're like, this is what like we want to do.
This is what I want to do. Yeah.
This is like fun, like we want to screw around. We want to like build a community of friends like that do cool shit together.
Yeah, man.
And at the end of the day, like, that's our mantra. And like, being in the ThugBirdz DAO too, you see that, like, people are having so much fun. Like, I saw one of the members bought like a cameo from the Island Boy. Hilarious.
They bought a couple. There was like 3 in total, and I remember watching them. I'm like, who the hell is giving these guys money? Who's buying these cameos?
Exactly.
So
It's so funny. It's like, it's fun though, but that's like the stuff people like. And I think we like, you're right. Like, we're not going to take ourselves too seriously, but then
it's key.
Yeah, it's key. Like, but we want to have like a core message that just shows like, we don't want to, we want to do this for the community. Like, we want to be aligned with the community too.
Yeah.
And we want to reward people who do good, cool shit for our community.
Awesome.
So, but we're still in that learning phase. We're at like step 1 out of 1,000 of learning how to build a community. And but it's been fun. It's like, I'm new to the Twitter game, so our tweets are like, we're trying to get it to go more viral. But yeah, would appreciate any like advice on like how you would build a Twitter following for like a new project.
I don't know how I keep getting followers. They just keep following me, and I keep making fun of them, and then they keep following me still, and I don't get it. But like, I'm just poking good fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, we're all very dumb, and I'm just like the dumb leader. You know what I'm saying? So like, if to build a Twitter following, it's just memes, bro. Memes are huge. I keep trying to tell all these NFT projects that you guys should almost have like someone come out in the community. You should reach out to your community and go, okay, who is the meme lord? I know we got one meme lord in this chat, and we need you. Please step up. And you are going to be our memeologist, and you are just going to pump out memes. And that really gets the community going, especially when they're bangers. That's the biggest thing. Like, if you get a banger meme and everyone gets behind it, it's like, you know what I mean?
Like, damn, son.
The silly, and just the silly stuff too. Like, that has nothing to do with the art and stuff like that. Like, today I tweeted, I'm running the analysis or something, and like all the thugs started tweeting like he ran the analysis or something. It makes no sense, but the entire community started fucking tweeting it, and and we started tweeting stupid shit like it's in the data and like just like dumb shit, and that has nothing to do with ThugBirdz, but the entire community got involved. You know what I'm saying? And kind of made it like a fun joke. So like, you just got to run with stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you see a community, like a couple community members like get onto something, like put it on the main account. Do you know what I'm saying? So everyone can get involved. But like OX Thug does a really good job of that. He does a really good job of like keeping his eye to the ground, seeing what his little friggin' thugs are doing, and then like just like retweeting the funny stuff. So, and it all comes back to not taking yourself too seriously, and then not thinking like, is that too like not serious enough for the Twitter? It's like, fuck that, throw it on the main account, dude.
Just have fun, be genuine. You know what I mean?
100%. We will take that advice to heart. Like, we have a few super fans that we're gonna like take them here, and then we're gonna get them to find out what they love about it, and then go from there. Like, we have like a roadmap in our mind, but it's still very flexible, because we want like.
And it should be, because your community is going to start taking it places you didn't even know it was going to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's like what we intrinsically understand too. It's like, the original monkey people, like the people who created the monkeys, aren't the same people who created the DAO. Like, the people who created the DAO were just I met all of them in Breakpoint.
Yeah.
They were just people who wanted to have fun, and they wanted to create a community of monkeys that own this JPEG. They love the monkeys, and they took it from there. And now it's like the monkeys are a validator node.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Thugs. It's like it's a beautiful organic thing that happened, you know? And that's what we want to like we want to remove every barrier in order to allow that organic stuff to happen, but we need to memify ourselves too.
You do. You just got to stay loose and get a meme lord.
Yeah.
The meme.
Exactly.
So for the people that are listening, because I hate to be that person, but we got to wrap it up because we are past the 30-minute marker. But I think that's a great segue on, if you are listening right now and you are a meme lord, where can they get in contact with y'all at? What's your Twitter space? How do they get in contact with y'all? Where do people that are interested in y'all's project get in contact with y'all? What's the best plug?
Yeah. Follow us on Wet Fish Aquarium. And we have like we have our Twitter. It's just Wet Fish Aquarium, at Wet Fish Aquarium. DM us. We respond to every DM, and I can guarantee you we'll respond in less than a minute.
Oh, that
So
quickness.
Test that theory out.
I like it. If y'all want, you don't have to. Some people like to, some people don't, but we always give everyone the opportunity. You can shout out your personal handle if you want. If you want to be known that way. If not, it's all good as well. Put y'all on the spot. Anyone?
Peter and Deep Sea, do you guys want to shout it out? The mysterious creature. Like your Twitter. So
yeah,
it's Deep Sea Creature, and
Deep Sea Creature, but instead of an E, it's a 6.
It's a 6.
Heard that.
All right.
And for the mysterious creature, it's at ZOIDZ123.
Heard that. Awesome. If y'all don't mind, stick around for a quick second. I'm going to go ahead and end it on this end. But on that note, once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for coming in, tuning in, showing some love. It is your boy, Gaddis Status. A shout out once again to Wet Fish Aquarium. Episode 25. Do yourself a favor, follow them on Twitter, show them some love in Discord, and make sure to like and subscribe to the video on all platforms. Till next time, y'all. As always, stay fresh, stay clean, stay positive, and caw-caw. Let's get it.